Ready.
Yep.
Okay, it's Thursday, October 14th, 2021. It's just after 6 o'clock. This is a meeting of the, it's actually the Abington ACAM annual members meeting. We are the board of directors, and we have two members in the audience tonight, aside from ourselves. Bob Malloy, our other director, wanted to be here tonight, but he was not able. He has an issue he's dealing with that prevented him from coming. So we'll get right to the first item on the agenda, old and new business, and we have none that I'm aware of. Any questions?
Well, I don't know whether the tax return is not on here. Is that going to be filed on the 15th, or?
It was e-filed.
It already has been filed?
Mm-hmm.
I
But
did
they
see
told
that.
me.
I did see that because it said it on it, that it was e-filed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's good it's e-filed, but I would have checked the numbers if I'd known. I reviewed the return for overall correctness and questions answered right and everything, but I didn't have any numbers with me, so I assume the numbers are correct.
I can
But
print
the rest
it
of the
out.
return looks good.
I can print it out for you.
Well, I mean, it's gone. I mean, there's nothing I can do now.
Okay.
I thought it was due November 15th, and that's when it would be filed, but.
Yeah, no, they
Okay.
filed it when they did it, and that was last week, I believe.
Okay.
Next item is approval of meeting minutes. We have minutes typed by Mr. Kelly from September 16th, 2021. Has everybody had a chance to look at those?
Mm-hmm.
We have a motion.
Move to accept.
And second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Financial report. Although Bob Malloy couldn't be here, he typed up a very nice summary of our finances, and I will read it. This is from Bob Malloy. Summary of Quarter 3 2021 ACAM financial activities and matters of interest. Robert Malloy, Treasurer of Abington CAM. Abington CAM continues to be in good financial standing. Our corporate tax return of 2020 was completed and filed with the IRS. KPM continues as our accounting firm. ACAM Secretary and Director member Mr. Robert Kelly has access to the IRS filing utilizing his accounting experience. ACAM continues to be recognized as a 501c3 exempt from income tax organization by the IRS, and I will speak to that separately. Abington Community Access and Media is in good financial standing. A summary of financial holdings is listed below. In our checking, we have $179,327.01. We have two 10-month CDs. One of those has $257,177.47. The other one is $258,178.16 for a total of $694,682.64. We moved about $105,000 from the two CDs, and along with some money from the checking, opened a $300,000 money market account at 0.1% interest now. The 10-month CDs were opened at the end of July of 2021 and have a term running through May 30th, 2022. Might say 21 on yours, that was a typo. The earnings for each of these CDs is approximately $85 monthly, total for the $270 a month. The money market account was opened on 9/25/21, earning 0.1%, besting our checking account monthly interest earnings. The money market is limited to 6 transfers to checking per month, and there is no maximum withdrawal amount. ACAM continues to submit receipts and reimbursement vouchers on approximately a quarterly basis for reimbursement of ACAM's business expenses to the Town of Abington Enterprise Fund, which is funded by monies from Comcast and Verizon. Transaction activities with ACAM and the town throughout 2021 and the most recent Quarter 3 continue to be smooth and well facilitated with the town hall leadership. The following deposits were made to ACAM checking on 7/30. There was the $52 $48,912.43 from one CD and $52,856.56 from the other CD. And also a $26,542.54 deposit that was the final FY21 voucher disbursement from the enterprise fund. ACAM has 2 full-time employees, a second full-time salaried employee effective October 1st, 2021. Mr. Matt Nelson reports to Kevin Tachi, the ACAM Executive Director. Mr. Nelson's title is Abington CAM Access Operations Coordinator. ACAM's annual health and dental insurance expenses will rise approximately 32% annually. The second full-time salaried employee was considered and approved by ACAM Board of Directors. ACAM has a new health and dental insurance carrier, and monthly payments are directed to the new health and dental carrier. September 2021, ACAM reimbursed Abington Public Schools for internship payments made in Q1 of 21. The amount was $4,201.51. That was check number 1291, in case you're wondering. September 2021, ACAM paid a license fee for the Huddle software. The annual license fee is $43.50. That was check number 1290. Huddle is well utilized for the recording of the high school and middle school activities. In August 2021, ACAM paid Abington Public Schools rent of $7,500 for first quarter of 2021. That was check number 1286. July of 2021, ACAM paid legal fees for services rendered in years 2019 to July 2021 for a total of $6,790. That was check number 1285, respectfully submitted by Robert Malloy, 10/12/2021. That's his financial report. So I attached in your packets, included in your packets, a bunch of QuickBooks reports that I didn't give to the audience, if anybody cares.
Because these aren't probably accurate because I haven't done the third quarter. I've only done up to the second quarter.
Okay.
When I get the bank account statements, everything from September
Okay. Okay, sure.
and all that, then everything will be, I do it by quarter.
So this is actually the bank statement that I included in your packet right here for September, coincidentally. And I've also included...
This is for the CDs, right? Is there another one?
Oh, is there not?
Can I ask a quick question on the financial? I don't know if
Yeah.
Jessica, you can answer it.
Certainly.
There's a negative. Is that a negative in
No,
credit
that's
cards?
not accurate.
Okay.
It's because it's only done up till July.
Okay.
When I get the bank statements
Okay.
from September, I do it by quarter,
Oh.
just because it's easier, because there's not a lot to do, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I will get you that before you
Yeah,
leave
because you
tonight.
sent me the other ones, you just haven't sent me the ones for September, which they just come out recently, right?
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't even know if they're out yet, the 16th usually?
No, I think they come out pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't remember if I have mine or not, to be honest.
I'll make sure you get that. I also included some of the spreadsheets that I do. You all have access to it. It's called actually ACAM 2019 on the Google Doc, but it's recurring spreadsheets. That's just when I started it. So,
I'm not even gonna look at it.
I lost track of the 501c3.
Yeah, 'cause I don't have that.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So I wanted to make sure everybody knows this because I read it last time, but we didn't have much of a crowd then either. So from the IRS on July 9th, 2021, it says, we received your correspondence dated October 9th, 2020 about your tax exempt status. We issued you a determination letter in July of 2020 recognizing you as a tax exempt under Internal Revenue Code, IRC, Section 501c3. We erroneously placed you on our auto revocation list. You can disregard the CP 120A notice we previously sent you. We'll remove you from the auto revocation list and relist you in the tax exempt organization search, which should have been by August. I haven't looked to see if it's in there, but it should be. So they issued us our 501c3 determination last year and then revoked it. And I had thought at the time that it was because, as they told me, that we had sent tax returns that weren't originals, they were copies. And it turns out that's not the case either, even though that's what they told me. So we are a 501c3 tax exempt organization, and they consider us so since 2015. Just so we're all aware of that.
That's good. It's done, so it's finally over and done with. We don't have to worry about it anymore, right?
Yes. The
We're
only
good.
thing we have
for
to
the
do
state.
now. I'm sorry?
The state has a problem, you have a problem with the state. We haven't filed anything for the state because we don't have audited financial statements for what, 2019? So the state could revoke your status as a corporation, then you can't be a 501c3 anymore.
Because we didn't do the audit, is that what you're saying?
Yes. You still have a problem with the state.
I never heard back from Barry. I emailed him a couple times and he never.
Yeah, he
And I
could-
haven't done
Barry
anything the
couldn't
last
do
couple
the-
months.
Barry
This is
couldn't do
something
the
the
audit.
state wants? What is this?
Because the receipts exceeded a certain figure in 2019, we needed to have an audit done for the documents filed with the state. Barry said he couldn't do it because he did the accounting work and he was going to recommend someone to do the work for us.
Yes.
It's my understanding from speaking with the IRS and Barry that the audit was for the greater than 500,000 in receipts was actually something the IRS wanted.
No,
And
the IRS does not want it.
KPM has spoken with, KPM has spoken with whoever it is that is supposed to grant us the waiver, and they haven't gotten back to us one way or the other with the waiver.
Well, maybe COVID's the issue that no one's getting back to us, but I have never seen that waiver given. It's required by the state.
Okay, so we're still waiting to hear.
If we don't do
And
the
once
state,
we
they could
do
revoke
here-
our corporate status.
So,
Because now you're
So-
2019, 2020, 2 years behind.
if
So you're saying
we
if we have
don't
the
give them
audit,
something that they
You
haven't
have
made a final determination on, they're gonna revoke our status? When are they gonna revoke it?
I don't know the rules, but I'm just telling you
You
that's
know
what
the
I've seen.
rules?
No, I do not. I've never dealt with nonprofits in my practice. I'm just
You
aware of
haven't
what...
dealt with 501c3s? in the
Absolutely
practice?
not. Absolutely
Well, I'm
not.
just going by what Barry and the IRS told me. So we have
Well,
a 501c3.
I'm just suggesting that we're not
a
all
tax
straight, is
exempt.
what I'm trying to mention here, Madam Chairman. We are not completely done. This is a
Okay.
basic thing that needs to be done before we can move on. So the fact the IRS
we're
has sent
working
us a
on it.
letter is half the project.
Oh, okay.
So somebody has to figure out how we address the state.
So I'm going by what KPM told me and the IRS told me, and the KPM has requested the waiver, and they haven't heard back yet. So
we might
once
need
we hear
that.
back one way or the other, then we'll move forward. If
Okay.
they would like us to do the audit, we will have that done. I have another accounting firm that I'm going to contact for the audit, and
The problem is they may not want
as
to
I
do... an
understand
audit
it,
is not
the
taking-
audit is well over $10,000, so
Absolutely. and
if it's not
most-
requested, if they don't want it, I don't plan to sign us up for that.
It's not requested, it's required by law, that's all I
Oh,
can say.
okay.
It's not requested, it's required by the law
Okay.
in the state of
All right.
Massachusetts.
So we'll wait to hear back,
Okay.
since,
Can we put that on the agenda for our next regular meeting to discuss the state status?
the state status.
Yeah, what's happened on it at our next meeting? Because now we know the IRS
Sure.
is all set. It'd be nice to know the state's all set too.
Well, I did contact the Attorney General's office, and they told me there is nothing they're looking for.
I don't know.
Well, I do know, because I spoke with them.
Well, we'll find out when they give us a
Sure.
waiver, or not.
They will give us a determination one way or another, whether they want that or not. I'm not inclined to, well, We could vote to
Choice.
spend $10,000 we don't need to spend right now. Is there a motion?
No, I'm not, I'm just asking for an update. I don't know what's going on, that's all.
Well,
Madam Chairman, this is a members meeting, so.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that the only reason you had over 500,000 one year was because of uncashed checks from previous years.
yes.
Correct.
So it's my understanding, talking to KPM also, that because it was not income for that year, it will probably be waived. If it was a donation, just like a charity that we had, that in one year we got more than $50,000, so it puts us in a different situation.
Right,
This was not normal income.
that's right.
This was income from previous years. So it would be my suggestion just to wait and find out what their decision is, whether or not they want
That
it.
was my plan.
Madam Chairman,
would
Madam Chairman, the
suggest
problem with that
actually-
decision is that you could get liquidated if we don't take care of it and figure out what's going on. You could get
Well, I
liquidated.
have taken care of it. I've spoken with the IRS, I've spoken with the Attorney General, I've spoken with KPM, and I would suggest that if you don't believe what I'm telling you right now, that nobody is looking for it and we're waiting for a waiver, I would suggest you speak to the Attorney General, KPM, and the IRS, because it's an IRS requirement.
I
It
am
is
not
the
criticizing
state.
anybody for stating nothing. I'm just asking, as a board of, as a
telling
member of
you.
this board of directors, I would like an update on the status of our tax exempt status with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's all I'm asking. And
I spoke with
I
the
asked
Attorney
And
General's
then I
office.
asked, do we put an update on the next agenda for our
I
next
will
meeting?
absolutely
That's all I
do
want to
that,
do.
because I spoke with the Attorney General's office, and they told me there is nothing they are looking
Fine.
for.
Do we have
I
any?
will forward that email to you.
Fine, okay. I just think it should be updated next time, so that's all I'm saying.
So,
I don't want to get into an argument, that's all I'm asking.
Bob, I'm telling you my conversation with
Okay.
these people.
And absolutely right, I just want to
What
put it on
would
the
you
agenda for the
like?
next, I want to have,
Would you
on the
like
next
it-
agenda, I want to have an update as of that date, what's happening with the status of the
Okay,
Massachusetts,
well,
that's all.
I'll update you again. I will tell you the same thing again unless I hear differently.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I suggest you call the Attorney General, KPM, and the IRS and speak to them yourself so you can hear it from them, since you don't seem to believe me.
I didn't say I did not believe you, but we have one
Okay,
person that
let's
should
move
speak
on.
to those people, and that's the chairman, not a member. We should not be calling the CPAs individually.
Then you need to believe what I tell you.
I didn't say I didn't believe you. I just said I want an update, that's all.
Can we
What's
move
going on
on?
as of today?
Okay.
Can we move on?
All right.
Let's
So
do
the
that.
next
Yeah.
item on the
Thank you.
agenda is the election of directors. Per Article 3, Sections 5 and 6 of the bylaws, we sent out the notification, email notification to the members that we were looking for new directors, or, well, we weren't looking for new directors, I'm sorry. We were looking for nominations for directors. According to the bylaws, the members are allowed with, I believe, 10% of the voting membership signing a petition to nominate their own slate of directors. Otherwise, we as directors have our own slate that we've nominated ourselves. And that is Bob Malloy, who I think some of you missed it. He was unable to be here tonight. He has a medical issue he's dealing with. Otherwise, he definitely would have been here. His term expires with this meeting, and since there are no replacement directors, any three of these directors, if they do not get voted in by the membership, will remain in their seats until the next annual meeting, when there's another vote by the members. So Bob Malloy's term expires today. Peter Walter's term expires today. Bob Kelly's term actually expired in October of 2019, and because he was not voted in by the membership at an annual meeting, he has remained in his seat. And his term, after tonight, will expire 3 years from 2019, so that would be next October.
2022.
Jessica Johnson, your term also expires
They're
today, but Jessica's appointed by the school committee, so
Yeah, they're gonna bring it in the next school committee meeting. Bring
awesome.
it forward. I talked to Wendy.
Okay. So,
Do we have a motion?
yeah, do we have a motion? First, we should probably do everybody separately. Bob
Lisa
Malloy.
Joe had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who should make the nomination? Should be a member of the members, represent the members, or a member of the school board?
That's an interesting question, because that's not clearly defined in the bylaws, but the thing is that we are all members, being here, the four of us are members, you guys are members, so really anybody can make the nomination,
I suggest she'll make
the motion.
I should make a motion to approve Bob Malloy's extension for 3 years.
A second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
I make a motion to approve Peter Malloy's, Walter's extension for 3 years.
Is there a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to approve Bob Kelly's extension for 3 years.
Second.
To the end of, for a year.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually for a
3
year.
years from
Remainder of the term.
2019.
Yep,
We didn't have the meeting because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
right. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So they're all unanimous?
Yep.
Everybody remains. So the second item, actually, they got, on your handout, they're upside down. The second item is the bylaw change. The directors at the last meeting voted bylaw change from Article 2, Section 3. The annual meeting of members shall be held in Abington at such place as the Board of Directors agree on the second Thursday in October of each year for the purpose of transacting such business as may properly come before the meeting. So the change we voted was to place on the second Thursday in during the month of October. Is there a motion?
Section 4.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm gonna use Joe's second, okay?
Yep,
You both
that's
sit
fine.
together.
That's fine.
Oh,
It just looks better.
Yep.
Executive Director's Report. It's all yours, Kevin.
There are copies up on the table, just a kind of a rundown of my particular report, starting with talking about a little bit about the cable cast and programming. Normally when I give my executive director's report, I'll do it as to the last time we had a meeting and do an update. So the numbers, the information I'm providing is that of since last October. So that's where I'm pulling my data and getting it. As of October 14th of 2020, we've added over 1,100 new shows, with 251 of them being produced by Abington ACAM, the studio, staff, and volunteers. During that time, coverage was also provided for 102 municipal meetings and 115 high school sporting events. Some of the programs that we have produced, episodic shows, include the Health Department Roundtable. That's actually a program that helps early on in January and February when there was kind of a lot of uncertainty. The program was created to be able to provide information regarding COVID and anybody who was looking to get vaccinated. It was very helpful during that time. We also have done Fireside Philosophy, a program that was actually generated because of the food trucks every Wednesday night, Food Truck Follies. Actually had a staff member go and do a program and highlight some of the food trucks, and of course they got to go in and watched them make stuff, and of course, knowing Matt, he likes to eat it, so had a chance to sample the goods. Senioritis, that's another one. That was something we used with the co-op interns and gave them an opportunity to kind of document, talk about going through their senior year in high school and doing it during a pandemic, and they did a fantastic job. Well, there were a lot of times they would share their frustration with what was going on. They also had some very fun and funny moments. Actually, I had a couple of the interns actually crying in laughter with a couple of different incidents that they collectively shared. Also, Bruins Alumni TV. Through the years that it was a game and open mic night. The Bruins Alumni TV, that's actually a partnership that we have with the Bruins alumni, where they actually will play games, charity games, and give an opportunity to highlight nonprofits and what they do and how they help the community. As far as marketing and outreach, I feel marketing and outreach is vital.
Kevin, can we just go back to that? Because last meeting you had talked about we're doing a new show with the athletic department.
Yes. Oh, the Buzz.
Oh, that's the Buzz? Okay.
That's the Buzz. That's on here. I
Okay.
apologize. I actually leapfrogged that. That's Buzz. And actually, we actually taped the second episode today, where we had Sean Riley serves as the host, but there's also kind of a rotating thing where Peter Serino, the athletic director, will also sit in that chair. And if either one of them are not available, then Matt Nelson or myself will serve. But it's kind of a vehicle to talk about some of the things that are going on. The first show, we actually, they discussed some of the changes with fall sports, knowing that we were just coming out of COVID and there were new rules for sports in the spring, what some of the changes were. I guess the Abington High School actually is in different divisions and what some of the changes are. And so that was very helpful. This particular show they taped today actually highlighted the student athlete, Jackie Erner, who actually had won an award, but she's also a stellar athlete here
Wow.
in the school. So
Now, are they going to have some of the athletes actually be on the show too?
That is
like
correct.
as far as co-hosts or whatever? Or just as special guests?
again, the sky's the limit, and there's again, the idea is for it to be not locked into one particular person. If we have an athlete who expresses a desire to host it, we wouldn't say no.
Okay.
Okay. Marketing and outreach. I got to say, over the year, we saw a lot of increases across the board for a lot of our different platforms, especially YouTube. If everybody remembers, we actually had to start a new YouTube channel from scratch. The old YouTube channel had, I want to say, well over 1,200 folks who invested over years. We have basically been able to bring it up to almost 900 folks who actually subscribe to the channel, and it's paid dividends, where we actually have seen over nearly 100,000 views. Over the past year, some of the things that folks are watching are Abington Summer Concerts, Studio 2. I actually think that Wayne was actually flipping burgers at that one. But also sports, Carver versus Abington, the boys basketball game, and also football, Rockland versus Abington. Those were highly watched. As for our high school students that are interns, co-op interns, we currently have 5 interns. 3 are seniors, 2 are sophomores. We actually had an intern meeting today. I usually have a weekly meeting just to kind of see where we are, make sure we're all on the same page, see what projects they want to work on, any productions that we have upcoming if they want to be involved. The difference between the group of interns that we have now and what we had back in the spring was the group that we had in the spring were more so had more free time, and we're able to kind of do more productions. Where the group that we have now, it's a collection of 3 seniors and 2 sophomores, and they're in so many different things, whether they're running track or I have one individual who plays football, so he's unavailable until after the football season. I have 2 sophomores who are very willing to do stuff, but once they have to wait until the winter for their schedules to free up. But they've all talked about looking at their free time. We're even discussing doing Saturday workshops to get them up to speed and also to do productions. There is a new intern show. I think I had mentioned it last time, but it bears mentioning again, Intern Roundtable. We've already done 3 episodes of that. It's similar to the Weekly Wave, but also it's different. Being where the host for the Weekly Wave, it was just kind of different as to what they would do. And there was also other shows within the show, other segments that they would do. Where this one is just straightforward Q&A.
So how many hours do you think the interns work a week?
Right now, none of them actually have worked. None of them actually have taken out, have completed their paperwork. But I actually
They're not working at all?
They're not working at this particular time. But what they are doing is anything that they have done or they have been doing, they're putting it towards service hours because all of these students are in National Honor Society.
Okay.
So once they accrue 40 hours, then they can begin earning pay. But I actually had this one of the seniors actually is employed at a local grocery store and hasn't been able to get on the same page to be able to come in, and be able to work and earn hours. So the alternative is to put them towards service hours until she can kind of figure out her schedule.
Okay, so basically since the first quarter, we haven't had any interns work at all?
No, we've had, first quarter we did.
Yeah, first quarter, but
First quarter we did, second quarter we were at minimal.
Minimal?
Yes.
Do you think maybe opening it up to a little bit more so that, because they don't have a lot of time?
Absolutely, yeah.
More than just
Well,
that?
and the past couple of meetings that I've had with the interns is I've actually put out to call and say, if you have anybody who would have an interest, and that's the thing is having the interest to come here and to participate is key.
And what grade did the interns start?
Freshman.
Freshman, yeah.
Freshman. So it's not open to the middle school?
No, but I'm going to get to the middle school in a moment.
All right,
Okay.
I'm waiting.
As was discussed in past meetings, we are looking to launch a middle school TV club. Hopefully that'll be something that we do in November. I have had multiple conversations with Matt McCurtain. It's a matter of just kind of syncing up our information, making sure that whatever protocol is going to be followed when they're here. The other thing that was concerning him was the financial. There's not really any financial. If they're here for, an hour and a half a day for 2 days a week, there's no financial to it. So they were concerned with that.
No, we have all the equipment.
We have all the equipment, so there's no. But the idea would also be, and some of the things that we have discussed would be limited enrollment with 15 individuals, and we would offer it strictly to 7th and 8th graders.
15 of them.
15 of them.
Awesome.
Okay. Equipment and tech update. Live stream servers have been online for a little less than a year in this service. We have had a couple of minor issues, but overall they have been successful in being able to deliver info to residents, especially those who may not have at this time a cable provider, but if there's an important meeting in regards to the health and well-being of residents, then they're able to kind of watch those meetings if we do broadcast them live, or if we are showing them on one of our channels. And what I mean, a few minor issues. The school in September actually went with a new firewall, and when they put that up, it took some time to kind of sort it out. We actually had 2 weeks ago, we had a little bit of an outage where you couldn't see our live streaming and you couldn't see our bulletin board, because what was happening was we were able to get out into the interwebs, but we couldn't send anything back, and that was part of the problem. And so I had to make a phone call, and fortunately we have a good relationship with the school. The individual who actually oversees the IT department, Rich Bykowski, actually sent him an email. He was on vacation unbeknownst to me. And he goes, "Oh, I'm not there right now, but when I get a moment, I'll take a look at it." And he rectified. But we had to go through a process between me talking to our web designer, our web developer, the person who does our upkeep on our website, him checking with our host, and they initially thought they had an issue. The cable cast system to see if it might have been something with a certificate, a SSL certificate. And then it came back down to, so it was kind of vetting it out, and it took a few days to do, but we finally were able to get on top of it. We've mentioned multiple times about the town hall upgrade project. I actually received quotes from a third vendor. This is G&G Technologies. Now, the quotes that he's given me, I'm not distributing any information tonight because I'm still waiting. I'm still having ongoing conversations with them. But the quotes that they gave me are for hardware and limited accessories. And once we're able to tweak exactly what they would need for additional hardware, then I would get a number for that, and also with the man hours to be able to turn around that room. And also talking with the town to see when we would be able to go and what our window of time would be to remove the old equipment and put the new equipment in. The new system would be projected to provide video coverage for the Cotter and Buckley rooms. I did do, as I did a little show and tell last time we had a meeting, was the Owl Labs technology.
How'd that go?
It went well. Was I 100% satisfied? No, but I've had conversations with other access centers that actually are using with other communities, and they assured me that they like what they're using them, and that they like what they see so far. So that'll all go into my final report when I come forth and say this is what I'm looking at, and we can have that discussion then. As we sit here, we talk about the year ahead, a couple of goals that I've not only set for the organization, but for myself. As I had mentioned earlier about the importance of marketing and outreach, the idea is to try to get more people in here to volunteer, more people to produce programming, and more people just to utilize this great facility that we have. Is the development of an Abington ACAM newsletter, something that would go out once a month, just to kind of give folks an idea of some of the things that we're doing, some of the things we're offering, workshops that we'll look to offer at the start of the year. But remember, that's something that's kind of time consuming. I definitely want to find something that's going to be, I have a template to be able to kind of drop stuff in, whether it's information or even links for someone to click and be able to look at certain things. But that's something that's, I had planned to develop before COVID, and then COVID hit, so kind of had a back burner of that for the time. Also would like to launch a community magazine program. And the idea would be something that we would try to do once a month. As it is now, we try to put together little vignettes. We have staff and volunteers who do go out, and we'll cover things like Founders Day. Actually, for those who don't know, we actually just released the reenactment. This is an hour long where a staff member actually put probably 2.5 months into putting it together. Don't forget, Founders Day was, June 12th and 13th. And so what he did is he put it together. He actually found out where the actual reenactment was and put it together. It's showing on our channels now, but it's an hour long as to what they did and the fantastic job that was done over at the Island Grove. So that's up, as well as some of the other events. We got coverage that's going to be coming up on this weekend for the Oktoberfest. So if we're going to do that, we're going to put together little packages that'll show what happened over a day or what happened over a weekend. Nothing says that we can't drop that into a show that kind of shows this is what happened in the town over the past month. Now, as we produce more shows, then we can kind of tweak it and refine it and make it better. Okay?
Sounds good.
The other thing is increasing marketing for volunteers and members. That's important.
And interns.
And interns, yes. And finally, as I will share with everybody, I'll pass it down. This is something that was just emailed to me by Kevin DiMarzio, Selectman Chair. He had actually planned to be here this evening, but asked me if I could read a brief message, and that is good day or good evening. My name is Kevin DiMarzio, 29 Orange Street, and currently the chairman of the Board of Selectmen. Just want to take a minute to say a few words. Just a few short years ago, there was tremendous turmoil in and around Abington CAM, and I, along with many others, saw firsthand what was happening. But with that, I saw Lisa talk about the potential for the studio and also a vision. I just want to let you and the board know that since those times, there have been a lot of improvements, And these things have not gone unnoticed, between recovering thousands of dollars in funds from uncashed checks, from getting the 501c3 together and applying for, applying and receiving COVID relief funds. This team has taken this studio to a new level, which I feel it should have been at. In closing, I want to congratulate you and the board and all employees for a job well done. The selectmen and most people in town are aware of all these great things. Thank you, and keep up the good work. Thank you, Kevin DiMarzio.
Thank you.
The
Thank
end.
you.
Any questions?
Two things.
Yes, sir.
One, I was talking to the veterans agent, Adam Gunn, a couple of weeks ago. He is looking for some stuff out there for the veterans. He's especially looking for stuff in November for the Veterans Day. I don't know if he's talked to you yet. One thing I did tell him, that in 2004, there was something around in the country to record veterans on the 60th anniversary of D-Day. And Representative Kathy Tian took the lead in Abington to do that. And I know, because Liz and I helped out to some degree on the programs. I know we did request the programs. I know, remember at least 3 of them. Red Greenleaf, Ralph Brett, and George Weir. And I said you might want to see if those tapes are still available and if they can be used, obviously given the age.
Sure. So if I could just, on the first thing, so we are planning to do, I know there's going to be a veterans luncheon in November at the Abington Senior Center. And I've been in discussions with Adam Gunn and also with Suzanne Jesberg about us being there that day to not only videotape the event, but also give veterans an opportunity to tell their story and videotaping those. And Adam did mention that you had mentioned, and again he was kind of giving it to me as third person, that there was some video. I haven't found anything. Only thing I have right now are DVDs, but there's nothing that illustrates. I don't have any tapes that I've come across.
Mm-hmm.
If you, now I will ask you this, if you know anybody who might have a copy, that would be great to be able to digitize, and that would be a historical record that we could show whenever there's a Veterans Day or Memorial Day event.
I can reach out to a member of the Brett family,
Yeah.
and I can reach out to a member of the Greenleaf family.
Perfect.
And see if they have a copy of those tapes. The Weir family, I had no slightest idea, and I don't know who else we did. I forget who else we did.
But if we can put out a call, and I can even say something to maybe Sean Riley or anybody else that you think that we should reach out to see if they may have a copy of it.
Yeah.
And as far as Memorial Day, Veterans Day, we plan on covering the parade. I know this year it's in Abington, and it's our job to cover it and do the best we can.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Second thing is, as you said, you go and reach above and beyond. And there's an example of that last Friday night when you not only covered the football game, but you covered the celebration for Coach Calvert's 500th game. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? This is general business and items not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance. Okay, can we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.